Alrighty, good evening, everyone. It is Friday night once again, and we have therapist Tori in the house. How you doing?
Hello, happy Friday.
Yes, indeed. We will take that TGIF, indeed. How was your day?
My day was good. It was really good. It's been a good Thursday and Friday. Well, actually, all week was good, so
hmm
I can't complain.
hmm
I always love Friday, so I can sleep in on Saturday.
I need to learn that thing called sleeping. I don't know what's going on with your boy, but hey, it is what it is.
Oh, you still get up early on the
Yeah,
weekend?
man. Yeah. The present company that I work for, I used to always get up early for the past 2 years with them before COVID.
Uh
So
huh.
it's like my body's always ready to, get up. So it is what it is. So everyone, come on in. Definitely hang out with us, and we have a very interesting topic tonight. Normally, we
Yes.
tend to try to give answers to the negative, but in this case, we're going to bring forth the positive and some suggestions on how to find your vision. What was the proper phrase that you used in regard to vision?
The proper phrase.
Yeah, that we said
Um,
that we were going to call this show your vision and
oh,
how to obtain it or something like that.
vision. We can just say vision.
We'll take it.
Make it simple. Keep it simple.
Yes, indeed, your vision. I mean, a
Uh-huh.
lot, a lot of you may not know what your vision is for yourself, and we hope that we can give you some insight, to have your focus and go towards it, because you don't want to walk aimlessly in this world or feel like a hamster on a little hamster wheel. We want to help you to get your focus. So, before we get forward, before we go forward, yeah, it's Friday.
You do this like every show. Like some
Hey,
phrase comes out.
something always gets twisted, I know. But anyway, our corporate partnership with Melon, the Melon app, is one thing that we're excited to showcase. And I just wanted to give a little video before we go forward. So let's take a look.
Are you tired with your boring podcast with no kind of flavor? You need some melon in your life. Melon is a web-based recording streaming studio that enables creators like you to record content and go live with ease. Professional quality to invite your friends to your show. Now you can get with that, or you can get with this. Melon. No downloads required, tons of customizations. Record from desktop, laptop, and mobile. Join the revolution. Join Melon. melonapp.com.
Yes, indeed, the Melon. That's melonapp.com, where you can take advantage of all kind of additives and whatnot for your podcast. I'm telling you, Melon is awesome. If you heard of OBS or even Streamlabs, they are the people that created Melon. So definitely go to melonapp.com. Okie doke. So let me get some talking about vision music. It's not too loud, is it? You probably can't even hear it.
Yes.
Is that good enough?
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds good.
cool. So what I was thinking is we're going to I have some 10 steps of accomplishing your vision. I will just give more or less the statements of each one they have. Whatever you would like to add to it, please do. Fair enough?
Okay. Would you like me to I actually looked up
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
Merriam-Webster's definition of vision.
hmm
So it has a few different meanings. Of course, we know vision as in eyesight, but um, so real quick, it's that number one, the act or power of seeing says the special sense by which the qualities of an object, such as color, luminosity, shape, and size, constituting its appearance, are perceived through a process in which light rays entering the eye are transformed by the retina blah, blah, blah. So that's the physical, biological version of vision. Number two, something seen in a dream, trance, or ecstasy, especially a supernatural appearance that conveys a revelation, a thought, a concept, or object formed by the imagination. Oh, I like this part. A manifestation to the senses of something immaterial.
Hmm.
Number three, the act or power of imagination, mode of seeing or conceiving, unusual discernment or foresight, direct mystical awareness of the supernatural used in the visual form, something seen, a lovely or charming sight. So all those are like the definitions of visual or vision. Now, you know, even though I went to seminary, I'm not good at quoting scripture, but you know, I know in the Bible it talks about writing the vision and making it plain.
Yes.
You know, so one of the things, like, I guess from a therapy perspective, like I encourage people to sometimes do vision boards, you know, and that can be done a lot of different ways. You know, people do it online, or people actually, you know, go get poster board and cut out pictures from magazines that kind of depict what they want to see happen in their life. So, anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what were you going to bring up?
Here? Sure. Basically, that is great that we got the definition down, and it's amazing how one word can be implemented in this case 5 different explanations.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the English language. All right, so these are 10 steps to accomplish your vision. The first one says go boldly after your biggest goal. I like that. I like that. That's one of the things I know for me is when I turned 50, I said I'm not going to let fear hold me back.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of what you know that I'm going through is a part of that type of thinking. And it's wonderful for an individual to have confidence in themselves, because you literally feel like you can take on anything. But as soon as that confidence is taken, it's amazing how frail or weak you may feel because of the lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage anyone to go boldly after your biggest goal. What do you feel about that?
Oh, I just want to give a little shout out to Erica. Oh. Hey, Erica.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, now, honestly, I think it might be easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
You know, learning how to, you know, go after your dreams, aspirations, goals. I think for me, it's definitely been a lifelong process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, honestly, and I, you know, it's for some reason I was thinking about this the other day. When I first started thinking about psychology and working with people, I mean, that journey kind of started for me in high school. I mean, I knew that that was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't exactly clear on how it was going to happen. And it really took some time, you know, for everything to kind of come into view, if you, you know. So, so the starting process was, you know, thinking about those things, and then, you know, it's just a journey. And as you go along, you know, things, you know, start to be revealed, things become more clear, you know, you become more discerning about, you know, what the manifestation will be. So it takes a lot of time, you know, so vision is not something that's automatic.
it's something that you earn. That pretty much you got to build it and nurture it and make
Hmm.
it strong, like you would your own self, your body.
Yeah, like they say, if you build it, they will come.
Indeed, indeed.
I mean, and you've experienced that,
Hmm.
with your company. I mean, you got started, and
Yeah.
it's things have been kind of coming together. The people are
Yes.
coming as well. So,
We've been finding people everywhere, and it's funny how effortlessly it happens, but you have to have the tenacity to not stop. Even
hmm
with me picking up a job, and I don't like one bit of it, but I'm still going forward, and we're still building and still seeing its growth. Okay,
yes,
keep
absolutely.
going. We got a lot of stuff. Another one is be your own number one fan.
Uh-huh.
How tough is it for someone to be their own number one fan?
I would say it's pretty tough. I think I shared with you some time ago that, um, you know, in my life, especially like going through divorce, um, I thought that, you know, that was going to be a detriment, that people would see me as a failure.
Hmm.
Um, because, here it is that I have a relationship that wasn't successful.
Right.
Um, I've even learned to look at that differently, that, you know, maybe that wasn't necessarily a failure. Maybe it was something, just that you experienced and that you went through, and it doesn't have to be looked at as a failure. Um, but yeah, I mean, I, definitely had to overcome, um, in different ways, looking at myself as a failure, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and had to, go through this process of redefining.
Hmm.
So
Another one is don't underprice yourself.
underpriced.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think, I'm gonna throw a little cultural piece in there too. I think sometimes as African Americans, we undervalue ourselves,
Hmm.
and we feel like, we may even underprice services and things that we offer because we don't feel like people will pay for that, you know?
Right.
Um, so and I think that really goes back to, your own the value that you have for yourself, and
Hmm.
are you undervaluing yourself? Because if you are, I think that will definitely show up in your business.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
definitely something to look at.
indeed. Make sure you stand out. And it's funny how usually someone is not trying to stand out. They're usually trying to be in the shadows. you know,
Hmm.
I like that one.
Oh yeah, I was definitely one of those people. Like, I want to, I'll be in the back. I don't want to be in the forefront. I don't want to be the spokesperson. I don't want to be the one to, you know, to have the attention on me. But and it ain't, it really isn't about having attention on you. It's like, again, I think it goes back to the question of value. Like,
Hmm.
how are you valuing yourself? Why do you need to be in the back? You know,
Right, right.
now granted, the background is needed, right? Because we have to have a support team, and,
Hmm.
we have to have people around us who are like-minded, so, um, but you don't always have to hang out in the back.
True that. True that. All right. How about this? Network with big players.
Yeah. Um, I had a conversation years ago with a friend of mine, and he was like already, doing some things and doing some amazing things in the healthcare industry, and um, you know, and he was encouraging me, like, identify people that you want to emulate. You know, not you don't have to be like them,
Right.
but there's people out there who are doing some of the same things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we need to be in an environment that is encouraging. You don't want to be, and I never espouse being better than anybody, because I'm not better than anybody at all. It's not about that. It's just, you need to be around like-minded people who are trying to do
Mm-hmm.
the same types of things that you're trying to do.
Indeed.
And it's about creating that legacy and building that foundation. We want to build something that's going to last. And I'm not talking about brick and mortar. I'm talking about a mindset. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about principles and values. So, you know, we want that. That's what, the bulk of what we leave behind, and, people around us or people that we leave our legacy to, they'll pick that up. It's like, taking the baton, they'll take the baton and keep that going. But I definitely think it's important to be around, people that like you were talking about earlier, stretching, people that are going to stretch you, that are going to support you, that build you up. And building somebody up is not always about, oh, you're great, you're wonderful. Sometimes it's telling you the truth,
Yeah.
and not in a way that breaks you down, but in a way that encourages you and uplifts you,
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's very, very important. We all need that.
Indeed. So here it says break the check mark edition. Now I didn't know what they meant by that, so let me read what they added on this.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Okay. Skincare professionals are constantly sabotaged by non-productive energy wasters. These are the easy, albeit often unproductive tasks that make you feel good. Checking these minor tasks off of your list offers instant satisfaction, but they won't help you accomplish your greater goals. So they're saying to break the checkmark edition.
Oh, well, I don't know that I have much to say about that. I mean,
Mhm.
it's, and I definitely think vision is more than just checking off things that we want to do, or more than just checking off a things to do list.
Mhm.
Um, from a spiritual standpoint, I feel that God has shown us certain things, that He's instilled certain things. We have gifts, we have talents, we have skill,
Mhm.
and I mean, there may be certain times in your life where you see yourself doing certain things, and and we may be passive about that and be like, oh, no, yeah, in my mind that sounds great, but I don't I don't think that's going to happen. Or we try to fathom in our own mind how it's going to happen. I mean, I
Mhm.
can honestly tell you, I don't know how I made it to this point in my life. I mean, yeah, there's
Right.
certain things that I can share, and certain things that I've experienced, and I can share my experience with others. And, I think they can get a lot out of that. But there are also times where I am truly amazed.
Mhm.
I'm literally amazed, because I know that I didn't do this by myself.
There you go.
I know that it was God. I know that it was people around me. I know that it was members of my family. Like, I didn't do this by myself,
Mhm.
you know. So, and vision is not about you by yourself.
Right.
Whatever, God has instilled in us is not just about us.
That is a
It's
fact.
about me and everybody else.
Mhm.
It's about me and the lives that we touch. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, so, vision is all encompassing. It's not unilateral. It's not, just this single person. It involves everybody, and it's like when you start talking to people, you talk to your mentors, you talk to coworkers, you talk to friends, you talk to business partners, and you can feel God moving in that, and more ideas being created. So, you know, it includes all of that.
Indeed. Let's see here. Okay. Set aside sacred momentum time. Designate time for yourself each day to work uninterrupted towards achieving your goals. What up, Solres? See, we got our chat on the screen. Did you happen to see that?
Hey, what's up, fam? Now,
um,
I'm sorry. What was your last comment?
sure. It was set aside sacred momentum time. Designate time for yourself each day to work uninterrupted towards achieving your goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of addresses the work-life balance. You're not going to produce anything. Well, I won't say anything, but we have less ability to produce when we're tired, when we're
Mhm,
fatigued, when we have poor health.
mhm,
So we have to. So that just brings in that um, self-care perspective, that you have to be taking care of yourself. You know,
right.
I was talking to my kids the other night, and my older son Chris was telling me he's working 60 hours a week, and
Yikes.
my younger son Price was, he was talking about the things that he's doing to push his career forward. And I said, but yeah, that's great, and I'm super proud of y'all, but take care of yourself, enjoy yourself. Don't forget, you need a social life too. So
Facts.
working is great, but we have to take care of ourselves.
Indeed. Life is too short. Alrighty. Um, have confidence in your abilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's getting rid of that self-doubt. you know
Mhm,
there's always going to be, back in the day we see the cartoon with the angel and the little devil.
mhm,
The little devil's always going to show up, and tell you, oh, you're not doing this right, or you're not good enough, or something is
mhm,
lacking, or you get into this competitive mindset, or comparative mindset, and you're comparing yourself to other people. Well, what you do and your flavor may be totally different than somebody else's flavor, but that doesn't mean that it's ineffective. That doesn't mean that it doesn't count. So we have to kind of deal with, the self-doubt, and be able to separate ourselves from that, and like, it's whatever. You don't need to criticize yourself. You know,
facts.
critiquing, constructive criticism is great, but negative critiquing is not healthy, and also not needed, because that doesn't push us towards success.
Mm,
So
pulls you down. Mhm. Okay, so another one is surround yourself with mentors.
absolutely,
Mhm,
we never stop learning. You never stop learning. um and I have told myself, and I continue to tell myself, you can learn from anybody, you know, and and I've heard even older people say, you stop learning, that you dead, you know.
Yep.
So we should always be learning, you know, from any and everybody.
Facts. All right, let's see here. There is safeguard your momentum to protect the forward momentum that's happening. What it says here, except that someone is bound to be unhappy about the changes you make to focus on your goals. Discard all discouraging messages. These are your passions and goals, not anyone else.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think that, you know, when you start to make changes and when you start to understand your own identity and you solidify that foundation, everybody is not going to agree with that. Everybody is not going to support that,
Right.
you know? And so, you know, and I don't necessarily encourage, you know, cut off or anything like that, but there may be some relationships in your life that have proven to be unhealthy and toxic and non-supportive. And that's not you know, those relationships don't need to be cultivated. I mean, you know, one of the things that I've struggled with early in my life is letting go and letting certain people go. You know, I used to have this mindset, no, you know, you gotta, you here, you're gonna stay forever. You know? And, you know, and that's not necessarily how it's gonna go. And that's not necessarily what needs to happen. You know, as long as relationships are healthy and supportive, then yes. But, you know, when someone has a pattern, you know, there's this constant pattern of criticism or negativity. Even in their mind, they may be thinking, I'm doing you some good. But in reality, no, you're really not, you know, and it's coming and it's not coming from a healthy place. It looks like Torres asked the question, what do you do when you need a mentor but can't find one? Cry? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I do, when I need to, I go to counseling myself, you know, and, you know, I feel like that's been a healthy, you know, part of my life. And there have been times when, well, you know, I couldn't find anybody to uplift me or encourage me in a particular moment. And, you know, sometimes I cry, sometimes I stop and pray, sometimes I meditate, you know, sometimes just, you know, taking time for myself and, you know, doing things for myself, you know, so, and I, you know, that seems to work for the most part. So.
Cool. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the Blast Artist of the Week. And this is my guy, Elijah Rosario. And let's check him out.
Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I can never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope. Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I could never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope. I've been staying clear of all distractions. All they ever do is bring me happy. Fighting for my life to get established. I'm working to rebuild through all the damage. I was drinking every night into the early morning. I had suicidal thoughts running through my mind. At the point of no return, and I kept it going. Stuck inside the dark, I couldn't see the light. Sitting in a room, 4 white walls, cornered off with no view. Sleeping on the floor with the mattress filled with air. Different women in my bed, I was never playing fair. When no love over here, I was messed up. I was so cold, really messed up. I thought I'd die alone, but I got a second chance. I'm tryna be a better man. Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I could never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope. Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I could never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope.
I've been doing donuts in the 6-speed. I just slit the wrist and now my wrist bleed. I just iced the watch, I'm feeling crispy. I've been catching waves like a jet ski.
Yeah, got a little C, she look just like me. Had to write my wrongs, I did it for wifey. I know you want her, but you know you can't be like me. So why the devil always tryna tell me, oh Lord? Yeah, I've been in the church, you gotta save me, oh Lord. Yeah, I've been doing dirty, so my name in my soul. Yeah, used to sellin' work, I turned off white to white gold. Yeah, it's a lot of cars in the life, I'm a pro. Yeah, pearly gates I can't do like a fire. Revelations 20 said I got the right. So God keep working on me like procedures. Catch me out here spitting game talk like a preacher. Freezy. Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I could never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope. Fighting not to lose control. I know the devil tryna blot on my soul. Even though I've had some really bad days, I could never lose my faith and I won't give up on hope.
That is our blast artist, Elijah Rosario, and that is Plot on My Soul. And he is one of our many blast artists, and you too can also become a blast artist for free if you go to blastmusic247.com, register as an artist, and be a part of the family. That is blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. Alrighty. So we got some questions regarding testing your vision. Let me get this. Yes, ma'am.
So before we go to that, can I do something real quick?
Sure.
I did take a little bit of time to look up some stuff today about vision. And so I feel like this is some pretty good stuff. So regarding vision, these are, some suggestions. Number one is work to resolve old wounds. And, I know for me personally, as well as, people that I've talked to, like we have childhood wounds. There are things that have happened in life that we've been wounded by. And it may have been some intentional stuff, but it also could be some things that are unintentional. And so, when it comes to fulfilling the vision and fulfilling your vision for your life, it's very important to address those old wounds, to know what actually triggers us, what unhealthy habits we may have regarding our thinking and how we feel about ourselves, or even things, that have happened to us. It may be some stuff that needs to be resolved. Number 2, understanding that it's not about you. And I think we kind of addressed that earlier in this conversation, that, the vision and, what God has for you is not just about you. There's going to be lives that we touch, that and their vision will also be fulfilled as a result of us fulfilling our vision, if that makes sense. Like, this is all encompassing. So it's not just about us, but it's also about those that are connected to us. And number 3, explore your passion and your talents. There may be some things within ourselves that we're denying, or even things that are untapped. We thought about stepping out, we thought about trying it, but we got reservations and we hold back, and the only way that you're going to know that you can do it is to step out there and do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to know.
Facts.
That's the only way it's going to happen, and number 4, which again, we touched on this a little earlier as well, is spending time with people that you admire. If there's, you've identified some people in your life space that, it's like, I kind of like what they're doing. I like the way they think. I like the way they move. Maybe you spend time with those people, because iron sharpens iron. We have a way of rubbing off on each other, And number 5, envision what you want your life to look like. That's something that I do in counseling quite a bit, is like, if somebody's telling me something or describing something, like, what does it look like? When you think about your life, and when you think about where you want to go, and you think about what you're doing, what does it look like? What is it that you see? So what you see, that's what we manifest, what we materialize, So, and number 6, don't limit yourself. Stop second guessing. Stop self-doubting. Stop, questioning whether you can do it. If God put it in your spirit, then that means you can do it.
Yep.
It wouldn't be in your spirit if you couldn't do it.
That is true.
Number 7, get feedback and buy-in from trusted sources. If there's someone that you trust, and someone that has spoken into your life in a positive way, and that's something that resonates with you, it's like, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I've thought about that. That's telling you something. That's you're getting that confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. Number 8, and this kind of goes along with the vision board that I was talking about earlier, but write a mission statement and list action steps. A long time ago, I had like, this little yellow sticky little notepad, and I started, and I was like, I wonder if this works, And I wrote down all the things that I wanted God to do in my life, and literally those things started happening, So writing down a mission statement. I mean, it's like, in one, I used to, kind of bring this up with couples too. It's like, if an organization or a company or a facility can write a mission statement and a vision statement for that company or organization, why don't we do that for our personal life?
Right.
I mean, if we have a vision, if we have a mission, we can write that, we can write that thing down. And I don't care if you got to stick it on your mirror and look at it every morning, write it down and give yourself something to focus on.
That's a good one.
Number 9, find accountability. I talk about working out all the time, and it sounds good, and I do it a couple of times a week. But I'm trying to work my way up to 4 or 5 times a week. But the issue might be accountability. I don't have nobody that's making me stick to what I said I wanted to do. So having accountability, again, with a trusted person or source in your life to ask you, okay, now wait a minute, did you work out this morning? Why didn't you work out? That's not what we agreed to. I'm gonna hold you accountable to what you said you wanted to do. This is what you shared with me. This is what you told me. And that's how we support each other in our vision, is accountability. And then number 10 is be flexible. We're not robots. We're human beings. And so whether it's with yourself or even in relationship to other people, be flexible, be patient. Patience has been a thing I've really had to work on in my life, because I've been one of those people, come on, I want it right now. I see it, let's go. I need to have this thing right now. And it's like, no, ma'am, it doesn't work like that. Because you got to get yourself prepared for what you say you want. You got to get yourself mentally, spiritually, physically prepared for what you say you want. There's a reason why that vision is there. So anyway, I just wanted to add that as it relates to vision and purpose and seeking that vision.
That was awesome. To add on to that, people must not be afraid of rejection. And that's easy to say, so hard to do. And I had to get to a point that I didn't care. Let's put it that way. That if it happens, it happens. If it don't, cool. And that's when I started seeing real progress with the business. Stop caring about other people's opinions, the fear of the unknown. That's where you start to see progress take place. So I'm an avid person of, you can do it. You just got to keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah. Well, we do have that fear, that false evidence appearing real. We can, the mind and the spirit is an amazing thing. And actually, psychology used to be called the study of the soul and the spirit. It wasn't always the study of the mind. So, in our mind, we can create and imagine a whole lot of stuff. And that's why I think it's so important, that we actually focus our attention on the things that we want, because I am a true witness that it will manifest. It will manifest. So.
Now, accountability. Let's go back to that, because that is a cuss word to some people.
Yeah. Especially when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Like, really? You got to bring that up right now? We wasn't talking about that.
D-Ray said, you will never know if you can actually swim unless you're brave enough to launch out into the deep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's true.
Oh, man, that is very true. I know, as far as my vision, that I'm actually using my energy to build someone else's vision.
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of that, it's actually going to be building mine, strangely enough. Because the one thing I did desire was to be a millionaire, not to have money as far as to flaunt, but to be able to bless and to give back to people who are less fortunate. And it's gonna take some steps to go through in life in order for God to trust you with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at right now. Frustrating at times, but you know, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
And no disrespect to your vision, but it doesn't necessarily have to be people that are unfortunate. I mean, it could be
Mhm,
people that are in a place in their journey that you've been before,
mhm,
and you have the ability to speak something into their life
mhm.
that makes all the difference in the world, you
Yeah.
know. And to you, you may be like, what did I say? I don't know what I said,
Mhm,
you was just making a comment, but you said something or you did something and they were like, wow, that's amazing. That's exactly what I needed to hear, or
mhm.
that's exactly what I needed to see, you know? So,
Right. You never know where your feet may trod, especially when it comes to helping someone, and
hmm
and who you may help. Because that
yeah,
who you may help could be the actual catalyst to change your whole destiny.
yeah.
So I love that stuff. Alrighty, so we are still trugging along. Now, these are questions that are to test your vision. Okay,
Uh-huh.
is it anticipated in my past?
What do you mean?
That vision that you may have, is it anticipated in your past?
I mean, it might be.
Mhm,
Um, my thing is, vision is ongoing,
mhm,
you know. I mean, there are some things that, I can say I conceived in my mind years and years and years ago, and, again, amazing, when I look at certain things in my life and I'm in business now, it's like, wow, like, you know, God did this, you know what I'm saying? Like this
mhm.
actually happened. And so, but that's not where it stops. I mean, just because I've seen certain things come into fruition doesn't
Mhm.
mean that vision stops.
Correct.
It's like, okay, now there are certain things that are established or there's certain things that have happened. Okay, so what now? Where do we go
Mhm.
now?
Right.
So it keeps going, um I mean, it's just like the word of God, right? I mean, it's like those scriptures were written thousands of years ago,
Mhm.
but they're still relevant, even though society has changed, culture has changed, people have changed, mindsets have changed, app, dynamics have changed, but we can still, that's how powerful, you know, the word is. And that's
Mhm.
how powerful words are. You know what I'm saying? So, it's still relevant, you know. I'm not talking about the cultural part of it. I'm talking about, the principles and the value part of it.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, indeed. Um, when it comes to testing your vision, can I visualize it? Oh, hold on a sec. Let me go back to Soares. He has a question.
Uh-huh.
How important is the company that you keep? The wrong people at the wrong time can defer a dream indefinitely. So the question is, how important is the company that you keep?
Very, very. I agree with that. I think that we can allow people or situations to derail us, and make us think that something isn't possible or something's not going to happen. And once we become convinced of that, then we stop doing the things that propel us towards those dreams and desires, you know? So yeah, I mean, I do think that's very important. You know, and I know for a fact, like I've been concerned about certain, you know, in times past, I've been concerned about certain affiliations or how certain relationships have an impact on me. So, you know, I do think that's important and something that we need to pay attention to.
Indeed, indeed. All right. So what I was saying is, when it comes to testing your wisdom, can I visualize it? It's something you should be able to do.
Yeah.
If you can't,
I mean, again, you know, I might tear up some scriptures. So I'm not gonna. I have a hard time quoting scripture, but I know. I don't know. It was a prophet. It may have been Prophet Elijah who was asking God, you know, can these old bones live? You know, and, you know, and God's response was like, well, I don't know. You tell me. You know, speak to the four corners of the earth. You know, you have the power to speak to your situation. You know, you tell me if it can live. You make that decision. That's not, I've given you the power to make that decision. You don't need to ask me anything. I know it can happen, but do you know it can happen? Ask yourself that question. Where does your belief lie? You know?
So, we're still doing grading time. Does it engage my passion? Like testing your vision, does it engage my passion or your passion?
It should.
It should.
You know, I think that, and I realize, like, everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, we don't have passion for. Like, right. I love what I do. Oh, thank you, Soul Res, Ezekiel. Yeah, because I'm gonna tear it up. I ain't going. But you know, I don't have passion for paperwork. I have passion for what I do, but I don't have passion for, you know, sometimes the administrative side of things. So we're not going to have passion for every little detail, but for the most part, I think we should enjoy and have passion and desire towards the things that we want to do. Like, there should be some sense of fulfillment that comes from it.
I mean, like, I know where my passion lies in blast, but when it comes to doing the books, I'm not interested. So I get it. Yeah. And there's people that actually love the numbers. They love that number crunching. Not your boy. Let's see here. What will you be working on in your life this new year? So we're in September, so a new year's coming, 2023. What will you be working on in this life of yours in the new year when it comes to your
that question's for me?
Sure, I'll give that to you. Since you want to take it, I'll give it to you.
Well, I will share my dream with you or with everybody. My dream is to have a full-blown conference for couples, like a 3-day conference overseas where people are learning tools. You know, it'll be like a workshop type setting, tools of communication, you know, and different like breakout sessions. So that's my vision.
I co-sign with you on that. No doubt. That's kind of dope. All right.
Mhm.
In my state, we definitely. It's funny because when we started Blast a year ago, we just wanted to help independent music artists.
Mhm.
That's it. And now, radio station, record label, all these podcasts that we do every week, all these people all around the world that have been, coming into our site and everything. It was
Mhm.
all within a year. That's mind blowing to me. Um,
Yeah.
we're working on creating a social media website, so that's another avenue that's big to my heart too. So I heard also that it's not a vision unless it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
It has to be beyond you being able to do it.
Mhm.
And trust and believe everything that we achieved is way beyond me. And God brought the wonderful people around me. Even you, even Soul Res,
Mhm.
all the people that Rock, because even Rock found me. You know what I'm saying? He came back
Mhm.
to get me. And that's a friend for many years. So it just shows you when it's that time to start building, it's going to come. I agree with you. All right.
Absolutely.
One more question.
Okay.
What do you really want? And I'll put this to you. What do you really want out of your life more than anything else?
Hmm. The people I love to be around me. Um, I was talking to my kids the other night, and that's I think one of the things that I see as well. I see so much brokenness and
Mhm.
so much cut off with families, and that's been in my family too.
Mhm.
Um, I really want to see us all come together and love one another and spend time with each other and engage with each other and share. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all,
Right.
but I would like to see that happen on a more consistent basis.
Agreed. Um, I feel you with that. And strangely enough, because I didn't grow up into a big family, and through my dad's side, I'm the oldest of six, and I've
Hmm.
never really met them until I met my dad 4 years later. But I feel you about that. And family doesn't necessarily mean bloodline, but
Right.
people that you love. There are friends
Hmm.
that stick closer to a brother, and I've had those. I mean,
Hmm.
I could say that with Rock, I could say that with Gooch, and I haven't even known D Ray that long, and I could say that with him.
Hmm.
I want to see us all win. I want to see us all prosper. I want to see us all successful. And
Yes.
I know because of the buddy system we have, we're going to make sure we all do that together. I believe
Hmm.
that without a doubt. Whew. Let me stop feeling all wonderful right now.
Don't stop. Don't
No,
stop.
no, 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 no. I love it. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, therapist Tori, I appreciate that you thought of that topic because I think it's well needed that we need to be reminded that we have a vision to pursue. And if you don't know you have a vision, then it's time for you to find what that vision is and pursue it.
Hmm.
Because there is so much foolishness going on in the world. It's so easy to get caught up into something else away from your vision. And I hope we gave people some little nuggets just to help remind them your vision is there to go pursue it.
Yeah.
Anything you.
Don't let go. Don't let
Mhm.
anything take you away from it, because doubt is going to come, but there's something
Mhm.
that we can do with doubt. We don't have to live in doubt and fear. That's
Right,
not where we live.
right.
So
All right, so we're about to take off. What would you like to say to your people as we take off?
happy Friday. Just, I just want to thank everybody for coming in and listening and participating. It means a lot. It blesses me. And I thank you and I appreciate it. And thank you, Troy. I
Sure.
appreciate the questions and the input. So it's really great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Please be safe out there. Thank you, D Ray. And we will see you guys next week. Y'all have a blessed one. See ya.
Bye.